Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines. We have the Minister of Transport has received the Ambassador of Nigeria. For the international scene, Zelensky's party in the head of the legislative vote. Welcome to our newsroom. The Minister Ilyas Musa Dawale has received today's delegations from the NGO Binance, a world leaders in cryptocurrency. The blockchain, commonly known as the blockchain, is a technology that carries strong promises of industrial inclusive in terms of job creation among young people, but also that of the decentralizing trust. The blockchain has the potential to radically transform the way information is shared, goods and services are produced, and national businesses are invested and financed. During a projection, the experts pointed out that blockchain technology offers, for the very first times in millennia, the opportunity to have a decentralized trust systems without any intermediary. Further experts have also recalled that this cryptocurrency and its blockchains would attract investors, boost the economy, and thus opens a new era in Djibouti, thus take the trains of the fourth industrial revolutions. These sessions was followed with the great interest by the ministers and these close collaborators, and opened a series of questions and answers about the blockchains. The Minister of Equipment Transport, His Excellency Musa Mohammed Ahmed, has received this morning in his cabinet the ambassadors of Nigeria to Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Bankole Ad-Eri. The discussion is focused mainly on bilateral relations, maritime transport, power infrastructures, and cooperation between the Republic of Djibouti and Nigeria. The interview was attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Transport, Mr. Said Nuh. The first of the Djiboutian pilgrims left yesterday night the countries in directions of Saudi Arabia to make the pilgrimage of the year 2019. They arrived in the evenings at the international airport Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz in Medina. 250 pilgrims took the first flight, and a series of flights will follow until July 30 according to the schedule. Upon their descent from the planes, the pilgrims were greeted on their tarmacs by the members of the Pilgrims Affairs Committee dispatched to Medina, who directed them to their places of residence in Medina. The Djibouti Pilgrimage Committee directed the first rites of the pilgrimage 2019, organizing the guided towers of the holy and historical places of the city of Medina, namely the Quba Mosque, which is the first mosque built by the Prophet. They have made a prayer. Pilgrims will also visit Mount Uhud, the places where the battles took place, losing the greatest number of the companions of the Prophet. The Minister of Environment, in collaboration with the Global Environment Fund through the United Nations Environment Program, is organizing a climate change greenhouse gas report validations workshop this morning at the People's Palace. The validation of this report is a key element in the process of Mayter's national communication on climate change. This report focused on 5 areas: energy, industry, agriculture, land management, and waste. Workshop participants will have discussed and debated to analyze data on different sectors to prepare good practices and lessons learned. The workshop, given the participations of the national experts and the heads of the sectoral department, it was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministries of Equipment, Mr. Dini Abdallah Umar, in the presence of the Director of Environment, Mr. Hussein Rirash, the national experts. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Dini Abdallah Umar, has opened the validation workshop of the greenhouse gas synthesis report. greenhouse gases are vectors of global warming, a reality faced by the nations of the world, he said. As part of the fight against counterfeiting of July, the gendarmes of the brigade Sheikh Musa, acting on information of cross-checked got their hands on 2 individuals specializing in counterfeiting and trafficking of counterfeit bank note on the evenings of July. An eliminating operations was conducted by the investigators at the homes of the principal forgers. Indeed, the 2 suspects we catched in the act they were in the process of making fake bank notes. The productions of the day amounted to 296,000 Djibouti francs in counterfeit notes, divided into 13 notes of 10,000, 19 tickets of 5,000, and 71 tickets of 1,000 Djibouti francs. This operation is led to the discovery of the 252,000 Djibouti franc note. These smugglers will be transferred in the justices. The NGOs organized yesterday's 7 fisheries craft ceremony with their motors, land, and rescue vessels for the fishermen of shelters people and local Obok people. The acting prefect of Obok, Mr. Ali Makki, the president of the regional council, the vice president of the regional council, Mr. Ahmed Ali Sheikh, the EF representative, Mr. Thomas Cheg, accompanied by ONAC's executive secretary, Mr. Hussein Hassan, UNHCR representative in Djibouti, Mr. Abdullah Bari. It is the support of the Polish Humanitarian Actions Project. The Lutheran World Federations conduct a livelihood surveys of the region. In the villages of Markazi, it was found that fishing is a livelihood for many people's household. Main objective, the Lutheran World Federations is a non-governmental organization that intervenes in the field of community services, child protection, and the means of subsistence for the refugee living in the Republic of Djibouti. Djibouti has won the matches 1-0, the friendly matches against Somalia, which took place at the Gulede Stadium tonight and which ended just 30 minutes of that. Also, remember that Djibouti will face Friday in a friendly match the team of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia. The Development Committee of Mulud organized this week's tournament of friendship for the football teams of Mulud. The team of Mulud made a trip in the capital to face several formations. First, the confrontation the team of the Academy Gabobe, then she faced the military team of the CCO. The tournament was organized by the Vice President of the Development Committee of Mulud, Mr. Muhammad Omar Wa'is, with the aim of encouraging the young people of Mulud and to detect young talents in football. Lastly, the Mulud squad faced the Ad El Armid football team. The matches took place in the file on the basis of 888 in a good atmosphere and fair play in the presence of the Vice President of the committee, the French sport officers, whose Captain Dupuis. As part of the program to promote and protect human rights, Salam, the neighborhood of management committee of the neighborhood force, organized an awareness raising ceremony on the rights of the child. The ceremony is organized in the close collaboration with the national unions of Djiboutian women, UNFT and UNICEF. The ceremony is to initiate to make the young people aware on their rights as to obtain the national identity card and the refusals of exchanging for young girls and to fight against drug. The ceremony was chaired by the coordinators of the community management committee, Khadra Awale, who remind us that this kind of awareness is organized regularly to improve children's rights and to do it children's and also their parents, because the family is the first child. We have just learned the death sadness news, the death of the deceased Saida Diriye Gesale this morning, Monday, July 22, at 4 p.m. at Peltier Hospital, born in 1954. The deceased leaves behind a large family, including our colleagues Aisha Abdullahi, presenters of the television news programs, veteran journalists of the radio and televisions of Djibouti. The management and all the staff of RTD joined in the grief of the families of the deceased Saida Diriye Gesale and extend its sincere condolence to Aisha Abdullahi, journalist at RTD. All pray the good God to welcome him in his eternal paradise. Amin. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene in Ukraine, the party of President Volodymyr Zelensky would have arrived at the head of the legislative elections this Sunday with nearly 44% Sundays with the of vote, according to the first seat polls of the polls. The political formations of the former actors would have recorded a score record during this election. Four other parties are expected to break the 5% threshold required to enter parliament. The pro-Russian would receive nearly 11% of the vote, while three pro-Western parties would each obtain 6 to 9% of the vote. The extent right would not longer have any representative in the assembly. Nearly one elector out of the two would have gone to the polls, but the first official result are expected this Monday during the morning. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.